Speaker, that performance by the previous speaker indicates to me why his senior members are lobbying hard that he doesn't get a safe seat in the upcoming election. Mr. Speaker, for the past 18 months, this government has sat on its hands and pointed the finger and blamed the Labour Party for their inadequacy to address the struggles of working population of New Zealand. And I want to say, sir, that tomorrow is Judgment Day for this government, because we've had the first budget, which was a slash and burn budget, despite the words that it was going to be mana enhancing. And so tomorrow is a budget that I suspect, sir, working class New Zealanders throughout this country will say it is a budget that is not fair. And the rest of this country, sir, will say that what they are about to implement will not work for New Zealand. And I want to say, sir, that this budget tomorrow is about this government giving more money to people who already have money, but giving very little to those who are struggling, sir, with unemployment, who are struggling to make ends meet. I want to say, sir, that they talk about step changing, and Mr. Craig Foss says that the focus of the government is on things that matter. And I want to ask the government, what are the things that matter? It is jobs, I would say to this House. It is jobs, it is jobs, it is jobs. It is jobs that provide income that can sustain families here now and into the future. But what has happened to unemployment? Under this government, it ballooned to 7.3%. It ballooned under this government to 7.3%. Sure, there was a drop in the last quarter of 1%, but there are still about 140,000 people unemployed. Highest amongst that unemployment number, sir, are Māori and Pacific. Pacific moved up to 14.4%. So how is that going to ensure that the rest of the population are going to be able to sustain a quality life, sir, in this country? That's why, sir, we will continue to say to this government and hold them account, what are they doing for the many of New Zealanders? This government is only about the few. Yes. Mr. Frost has said that the budget, sir, is a step up and a step forward. I want to say, what is a step up for Pacific communities when they raise the taxes on tertiary education? What step up for Pacific communities when 9 early childhood centres have closed in Manukau and in Māngere since this government came into power? What is a step up for the Pacific communities who are working in factories, who are working in jobs that are essential for the economy, being paid the minimum wage of 12.25 cents an hour? What is a step up for that population, the many who are earning $48,000 or less, who will not get anything out of the tax cuts that this government is proposing? Mr. Foss has also said, Mr. Speaker, that the government's budget is about fairness and equity. Where is the fairness in those who are earning $70,000 plus getting the bigger tax cuts, while those who are earning $48,000 do not get anything, if anything at all? And where is the fairness when those earning $14,000 or less get the same reduction in taxes that this government is proposing to increase with GST at 20%? They are going to increase GST by 20%. That means for the rest of the population on low income, they will see increases in goods and services that will far outweigh any proposed tax cut that this government is wanting to give. So, Mr. David Bennett says that workers can get ahead under this government and under the budget tomorrow. And I would ask this government, how does a worker get ahead under this government when there are no jobs and many are struggling to find work? And you have families where one is now working, whereas before there were two working, who are now at risk of losing their houses, who are at risk of being evicted, who are at risk of having their power cut. How does a worker get ahead when there is no workplace training, when there is no skills development. With the rising cost of GST, in Mangere, sir, 3% earns